My name is Nina Camplin and I am the online arts facilitator for the VC Gallery. Welcome to another of our live watch parties. Today I'm going to show you how to transfer a reference image onto your canvas or paper. Now the reason I'm doing this is because we've got a few themes going on in the gallery at the moment, and a lot of them involve trying to draw animals, and I think everyone struggles with this, and I've had quite a few requests to do like maybe dog portraits or animal portraits in some of my Zoom sessions. But I'm going to show you a few easy methods to get your reference photograph onto your canvas. Okay, so I'm going to let you into a little secret here. When I do my my dog portraits, I trace them. So a lot of artists think this is cheating, but personally I just see it as a tool. You still have to have strong observational awareness to get the subject to look correct. So when you trace something over, you're just giving yourself a guide to follow. So basically where all the main points of the face are, so you definitely need to have the eyes in the right place in proportion to the nose and the mouth, etc. So when you do this visually by eye, it can take you ages and you struggle. So it's much easier if you just print yourself out to a reference and give yourself a guide. So I'm going to show you a couple of different methods that I've used in the past. And the first one, this is the tiger that I'm doing. I've picked this subject particularly because it's a really difficult subject to try and copy. Okay, so if I'm going to need to turn the camera around to show you this. Let me get that in the middle. Okay, so this is an A4 printed copy. Now I know a lot of people may not be able to print stuff out, so I'm going to show a few different methods. So this is assuming you've got a printer and that you can print it out. The easiest method is obviously this is layout paper, and you can see the image through this, so you can get down a lot of the main parts of the image and the eyes just there. Now if you don't have layout paper, if you've got something a bit thicker than this, you can actually use a light box. Now I know a lot of people don't have light boxes at home, or they think they don't, but in actual fact, let me just take this and I'll show you what you can do. If you take it over to a window in your house and you stick your picture on the glass, you can see how much clearer you can see through this now. So you can actually put a much thicker paper on this and you'll still be able to see the image and trace that through. Okay, so that's one method. Let's go back to the easel. I'm going to assume that you don't have a light box or a window, or you're using much thicker paper, or you want to get it onto a canvas. This is watercolour paper I've got here. I think maybe everybody at school might have used this method for tracing stuff. So you take your image, okay, and you turn it round and you scribble over the back of it. Using the softest pencil you've got, you really need to fill the whole area, cross-hatching, filling it as heavy as you can. Okay, and this takes a while to build up. But basically what you're making there is carbon paper. So you can even save yourself a bit more time if you buy some carbon paper, which, let's put this in position. And again, carbon paper has two sides. One, you can tell one side is a lot darker than the other. It's the dark one that you need to have face down. So you put this between your two sheets of paper, and then you proceed to draw in your details. I'm not going to draw the whole of this, I just want to give you an idea of how this is going to work. So I'm giving myself a guide here, and there you can see it's starting to come out. Now, if you want to buy some carbon paper, I actually had trouble getting it because this I've had for years, and you can see it's well used. So when I went online, I found this. This is what dressmakers use to transfer patterns, and it comes in blue and in red. So you can use this, and this is really good if you're actually transferring your image onto a coloured base. So say we had this tiger and it was going onto a black canvas, there's no way we'd see carbon paper onto that. So you then use the coloured, you can get the coloured carbon paper. And it doesn't really matter what colour it is, because if you're going to paint over it, it'll disappear anyway. So you can see that's how the blue one comes through. So that's two different methods of tracing. The next one that I want to show you is making a stencil. So if you wanted to paint this, what you can do, and I've got one that I started working on, is this is when you can print it out to the same size that you want to work at. And I haven't finished doing this, but it gives you an idea. You pick the largest colour areas that you want. I've picked the black on this because there's more of them. I'm just going to stick it in roughly the same position as where I was tracing it. And then you can see I've started cutting out all the black. I haven't done all of them. There's still a few stripes in the face that I haven't cut out yet. But then you can just put that colour in. And there you've got some of the black areas already blocked in, and that can be your basis for the rest of your picture. So these have all been based on the fact that you want to produce, or that you can print out your reference material to the same size that you're working. Now, if you can't, if you want to make your painted image either a lot larger or a lot smaller, there is other ways that you can give yourself a guide. And the easiest way to give yourself a rough guide is to first of all give yourself a horizontal and vertical guide across the middle both ways. So we're going to go down, I'm going to do this in red so you can see. I'm dividing it into quarters like this, because sometimes that can help you just to position something. And then what you do on your new piece of paper is you give yourself these guides again, and that gives you each quarter of the painting, helps you to position it onto a larger scale or smaller scale. The other thing you can do is you can give yourself guides for other points of interest on the face. So you can look at the eyes are just below halfway again. So if I draw another line here, and then another one. This is very rough, it's not measured properly, but that helps you to also get the positioning of the eyes and the nose. And obviously when you paint it, you'll start to lose the guidelines. The other way of doing this is to actually divide the whole thing into a grid as a reference. So what I do is exactly the same way I've just done this, and this is how I've done a lot of my murals in the past. So when I do something like this, I would start again by doing the vertical and the horizontal, and then I take the shortest edge, as I have here, and divide that into quarters. Okay, and then find out the size of those quarters, so they're say 5 centimeters, and then divide the horizontal into the same size sections, so we go up to 15, so that you've got squares. And this can sound quite complicated doing it like this, but there's a lot of guiding videos on YouTube to help you do this. So then you just make a new grid on your canvas to the scale that you want it to go at. So you take the same number of squares and blow them up or reduce them down. And it can help you if you label these squares. So if you say A, B, C, D, E, F, and then 1, 2. So you know exactly where something is. So if you're drawing, say, the information that's inside this square, you can see that's B2 or 2B, whichever way you want to do it. And then it helps you to position the eyes, because as you can see, if you were trying to draw this freehand, you're very likely to make it very symmetrical, but you can see when you look at the vertical line throughout the face, that when you go through the middle of the nose, the markings at the top are slightly over to the left. So it makes the eyes and everything slightly move. I don't know if he's got his head on an angle, but the eyes are actually on the same horizontal. So it can help you to work out where things are going. Now, the other thing that I can tell you to do, if you haven't got access to a printer and you're just using your reference from your phone or your tablet, so that's going to be the most difficult and the closest to freehand drawing. Okay, so the best way I can see to do it is, you may not be able to draw on unless you've got a drawing app. I don't know if you can draw on your images, but if you can't, you have to do this in your head. Try and work out, again, I've given myself the horizontal and vertical. And then look at basic shapes that you're seeing formed inside the actual picture that you're drawing. So you can see that all these markings around the edge of his head form a kind of ellipse here. There's almost a rectangle that the eyes are contained in. And then you've got the kind of teardrop here that is the nose. And it kind of, well, it goes around like that more. But you can see, and the shape of the nose is a kind of V shape. And it's by observing things like this that you can get everything in the correct place. And the other way to do it is, as I've done here, if you can get a filter, if you've got a filter on your phone or app, use that, or get yourself some sort of photo editing app to add. So make it black and white, and then change the contrast elements on it. Zap up the contrast. Okay, so make the brightness really strong and make the contrast really strong as well. That way you get to see all the basic shapes involved in this. It takes away all the distracting elements of the picture. So you're seeing there's a huge dark piece in here and a huge dark piece in here. And this will work for absolutely any reference picture that you've got. And it will give you all the basic shapes that you have to work with, and it will help you get your final image set up with everything in the right place. I hope you found that helpful, and if you need any help at all, don't hesitate to contact me, and please do post any of your pictures that you do on Facebook, because we'd love to see them, and I will see you again next week. Bye!